vibrant Sripal sir is also joined with us today to give you the valuable insights about the world of AI and of course to take up your Q&A. So feel free to put your questions if you have any over the chat box. Of course, our explanation, you can also raise your hand and you can directly interact with us to ask your doubts. I know this is going to be an interesting one and you cannot hold upon much. So without taking much of your time, I'll hand it over to Samritra sir. Welcome Samritra sir to our session. Over to you.
Thank you, Rahul. A warm good evening to everyone. Over the next 1 hour, it will not be the motive of the next 1 hour would not be to kind of make you experts in AI or finance, which is again your domain. But the purpose would be to show you that if people do not climb upon the bandwagon of AI for finance, what are they going to miss, right? And again, it's not going to be a doomsday prediction, but it's going to be realistic, statistics-based, example-based scenarios why AI has become an inseparable part of every domain, not only finance. Sure.
So before Sabitra, you take it up, I just wanted to ensure is everyone able to hear if attendees, if you're able to hear us, if you can confirm. Okay, hi Yukta, hi Yamini, hi Kanika. Okay, so that looks like a good household crowd, Sabitra, for you. So everyone who's attending this session, we have Sabitra. I think he is already talking about AI, and it was very important for all our students to understand what the impact of AI is and what a big revolution AI is creating. And you've already seen that with our digital Sripal, which is a chatbot which we have developed, which have passed CPA, CMA, CIA, EA exams with 90% accuracy. And most of the questions, basically, whenever you're asking in the WhatsApp, the AI kinds of keeps giving the answers, right? So that is how the AI has developed. It have made things much easier for students, and it have become more personalized in the sense, at least in education space. So today's session is more because on that insights only, because I'm hearing a lot from Big Four recruiters and with a lot of companies how the students are kind of, are they having the AI skills or not, because every recruiter now is trying to check whether you are able to do the prompting properly and all. And it's not just about putting a question in chat gpt or something, but it's about doing the analytics, how using copilot and different other tools, right? And how it actually helps us in preparing certain dashboards, in ensuring the ppts how we are preparing today, and various lot of things which we'll be discussing in today's AI session. I would also request Sabitra, because there are a lot of people who might CPA or CMA exams. So on the resume thing also, how they can at least ensure that the AI helps them. There are a lot of resume builder tools as well. So today's session, if you can throw light on that also, and then we can take up the questions and all. I remember last time we had a session last month, but somehow there was some delay on the technical side. So we had a lot of students who couldn't attend that session, or have actually logged out because of the technical issue. But this time, at least, you have everyone. For the students, Sabitra was ex-analytics leader of Standard Chartered Bank. It's one of the top investment banks. He is also IIDIM. He has his own AI startup, very famous faculty for our data analytics course. In fact, I also attended that course from Savitra. So he's one of the best faculty. So please ensure that you utilize each and everything in today's session. And this time the AI course which Simandhar is doing is completely live classes. There are no recordings whatsoever in this batch. But who all are attending the batch, obviously each and every session is getting recorded like we do in our LMS. But this time it will be a completely live class only. So just wanted to ensure, because I want people to learn it live, because this is our first batch. So that's why we want to ensure that everyone is seeing it live, trying out the tools, ensuring all each and everything you're very familiar with what is happening in the AI world, folks. Okay, any questions, please put up in the Q&A window also, and in the chat window. I'll also be there along with our team. and people who are watching us on YouTube. Yes, any questions there as well. Please don't ask any CPA, CMA related questions and stick only to AI. And yeah, if AI's impact is on our profession with respect to accounting and any of the case laws, happy to kind of answer that as well. Over to you, Sabitra. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sripal. So let me quickly share my screen and I'll take you through this particular let's set of 10 slides. The purpose would be primarily to say that why each of you, no matter which profession are you a student, are you a working professional, it doesn't matter. Without AI, none of us are going to survive, right? Now, why this session, or not the session, but the training is really going to be very different is we will kind of do it as an experiential training. It's not an experimental training, it's experiential. What does experiential mean? Means everybody of you will experience the training live, hands-on. Right? We will all learn how the other person is doing it. Because see, the AI, as Sripal mentioned, prompting, it's going to be one component of this training. It's not going to be everything. It's going to be a small component of this training. But as you would actually have experienced firsthand, right? The same question, a difference in prompt actually gives you a different answer, right? So what's the best way to ask? That is very important, right? Because if I do not ask it in the right way, I may not be expecting a right answer. So all of this would be taught in this course. So if you were not very explicitly, but you could say that I have gained some experience as a prompt engineer after doing this course, right? And as you would be aware, prompt engineering is one of the most go-to jobs in the Silicon Valley as well, right? There was a time when prompt engineers actually demanded higher salary than even data scientists and AI professionals. So we'll come to all of those. So let me just share my screen and I'll walk you through. So please let me know once you can see my screen. Is my screen visible, guys? Okay. So let's see what we have for today. So we'll have an introduction first, then we'll follow like AI in finance and a data-driven shift, some key highlights about this program, the concepts, coverage, and unique selling proposition. We'll talk about the universe of tools and coverages. We'll talk about the certification and pedagogy, why you should join the program, and then we will go on to the question and answers. So just again, my introduction has been given. Just some key points about me. Like, yeah, close to 18 years of experience purely in the field of AI ML. But I mean, since last couple of years, I'm one of the rare NASSCOM certified AI master trainer in India. There are a handful of people who are NSDC NASSCOM certified AI master trainers. I'm one of them. So you can rest assured that the people who are going to teach you in this course are not some kind of a run-of-the-mill faculty. They are kind of one of the most recognized people in India when it comes to AI, right? So that's an assurance that I can give you. And not only that, my background of being in the BFSI segment along with AIML for 17 plus years also helps me answer some of your questions in finance per se, right? Because some of the things that we have done in some of the big organizations like Goldman Sachs, Standard Chartered can actually find use in your day-to-day work as well. Okay. Now, is there a data-driven shift? That's the first question that you should be asking, right? And we all know the answer, yes. So how AI in finance is actually leading to a data-driven shift? Now, if you go to any CFO in any organization, he would actually like showcase a trait these days where his goal is to move the organization from a traditional finance, accounting, and reporting purpose to somewhat like a strategic, forward-thinking leadership powered by data. Now, if this is what the CFO is thinking, this will actually percolate down under as well, like from the top down to bottom, right? Everybody in the organization be it an analyst, a senior analyst, a manager, is expected to put on the hat of the data-driven thinking, right? So this shift is something that none of us can be immune to, right? Now, in finance, we would come across things like managing the customer data, risk analytics, fraud detection, regulations, just to name a few. All of them have been supercharged with AI these days, right? And I think if you ask me which is the most important area out of these, I would say, let's say fraud detection or slash anomaly detection, right? Wherever we have invoice processing, we call it anomaly detection these days. We just don't use the term called fraud. We use the term anomaly, right? Because every anomaly is not a fraud, but every fraud would be an anomaly in a way. That's how we speak in the world of AI, right? Now, just to give you a perspective, again, when we cover the course, we will go deep into it, right? As an example, what could be the top 4 areas that come to my mind, which can actually impact all of you while working in a finance role, right? And the details of this will be covered in the course. We can talk about the order to cash, the FP&A, right? FP&A being my personal favorite because that's an area which has a lot of impact. We have record to report, procure to pay. All of these is like a spectrum which is getting impacted with AI, right? Now, I would try to quote a saying by Monica Putty, who is the global finance transformation leader at IBM Consulting. And what she thinks is, when organizations scale AI across the finance function, they tend to become top performance, achieve highest ROI. If you ask me from a corporate perspective, being there for 18 years, one thing that I have seen is every organization, be it a startup or a big MNC, everyone is trying to maximize the dollar output, right? And how can they maximize that when their employees are far more productive? And how can employees be productive in today's age? By implementing AI-based approaches, not those traditional approaches, right? And I'll give you an example here to showcase how the world is becoming different. If I take an example of about 10 years back, right, more than 10 years back rather, when you did not have this generative AI, chat GPT, all these LLMs, it was traditional AI, which was not even very evolved, right? So in this traditional AI approach, in one of the largest investment banks in the world, we developed process for balance sheet substantiation. This was one of the earliest implementation of the concept across the industries. None of the peer banks had actually done it in a very formalized way. So we used AI data science to kind of create a process of automation for balance sheet substantiation, which again is a very, very key element in most organizations. Now, when we had to do it, because we did not have AI as evolved as it is today, we did not have chat GPTs, we did not have large language models, nothing, right? Till end of 2022, early 2023, we did not have anything for public use. And I'm talking about 8 to 10 years before that. We needed to understand each and every part of those financial terminologies. We needed to understand how this particular account works, right? Does it flat out? Does it not flat out? Without that, we could not have built the process. Now imagine I was doing the same thing today. Do I need to have that amount or depth of financial knowledge to build the process? The answer is no. Because at my disposal, I have something called, let's say, a large language model like ChatGPT, it could be Gemini, it could be Perplexity, it could be Copilot, it doesn't matter. For me, getting the information is no more a problem, right? But asking what to get needs to be correct in the first place. So you cannot do away with domain knowledge 100%. So some of you who are thinking that with AI, right, the requirement of domain knowledge will go away, that is not true. We would require people with domain knowledge. But having the depth of the domain knowledge to maybe, let's say, somebody with whom I needed 100% of domain expertise 10 or 15 years back, maybe I require 30 to 40% of that nowadays, right? Just to validate things, that's all, right? Now, for people who are thinking that domain knowledge will become absolutely unnecessary when AI comes in, I will give you a counterpoint. All of these AI, Gen AI, large language models that you're using, maybe ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, which is my personal favorite actually, your Google Gemini, all of this suffer from a condition called hallucination, right? So what is hallucination? Sometimes it so happens that information is not so much popular, or people like it's not there on the internet. So when I ask something regarding that, I may not get a very truthful or accurate answer. I could get something which could be misleading, right? An example of that is, if I ask ChatGPT or any LLM to generate a Python code, there is a chance that one of the line of the codes might be defective, or it actually that package that it is using may not even exist. That's called hallucination. Now, when LLM started off, hallucination was thought of as a bug. Now it is thought of as a feature in itself, where they say up to 50, on an average, up to 15% of the cases, you might find hallucination. Now, if I do not have any domain knowledge of finance, and I'm purely thinking of, okay, it's like thinking of, let me create a rocket engine, because I do not have any knowledge of rocket science, but I'll create a rocket engine just by typing into ChatGPT. I will not be able to do it. So if somebody is thinking financial knowledge will be absolutely unnecessary, he's wrong. It will be necessary, but not to the depth that it could have been 10 years or 15 years before, right? Now, if you look at the statistics at the bottom, right, what do you see? The question is where finance managers see Gen AI impacting finance processes, right? The biggest bubble is 54%, right? 54% of the surveyed managers felt that Gen AI will be making an impact in conducting financial analysis and creating forecasts, right? Every organization that you visit needs to have a forecast, a revenue forecast, and all of this, right? And then again, how did we manage to meet those forecasts last year, the year before, and all? That is where AI will find a lot of usage. The next biggest bubble that you see is analyze and process bills, right? This is where people are kind of making use of something called agentic AI or AI agents, right? So I'm not sure how many of you have heard this term AI agents. AI agents are like having a human assistant, but in this case, it's not human, it's a computer program who does everything from you, including attending meeting on your behalf, recording the to-do list, summarizing it, matching your bills, finding out the differences, emailing the vendors, and so on. Everything through a computer program. That's an agentic AI approach, right? Third biggest bubble is 40% is detect fraud. Now, the word fraud has become outdated, has become anomaly detection, right? How Gen AI can be used to do anomaly detection. And maybe this is something that we will have special focus during our course, right? Now, a small snippet from Sage A group actually throws light on some of the key statistics, right? Now, accountants, as we could call ourselves, for an example, right? How many of them who are offering services to the client see that AI will create a positive impact? 66% plan to invest in AI-based automation, right? All of us should understand that every organization has a mandate these days, which is AI-based automation. Nobody is going to manually write formulas in Excel sheet anymore. If they are still doing it, maybe in 1 year or so, they will not be doing it, right? 55% plan to use AI to increase business. 56% reported increased business in the past due to AI usage, right? And so on. So the summary of this particular slide is, if I'm going to be an early adopter, I'm going to be a winner, else I'll always be lagging behind. So with that, when we have already spoken about AI in finance and the data-driven shift, let's move on to the next slide. What would be the key coverage of our concepts, and why are we harping so much on the unique select proposition that this particular premium brings in for us, right? We will start off with AI in financial reporting and accounting. So, and when I said we start off with, it includes, I'll give a brief theoretical background, but all our use cases will be industry-based use cases and a practical implementation of that in the classroom, which means all of you would be using the data set, would be maybe using the AI tools to ask questions to the data set, right? It's not as if for the entire 2 hours you'll be just listening to a theoretical lecture and then going back home. It is not going to be like that. So we'll start off with AI in financial reporting and accounting. We will talk about AI in taxation and compliance. We will talk about AI in auditing and risk management. We'll talk about AI in FP&A, right? And forecasting. We'll talk about AI powered decision support. And as I mentioned, we will have a very dedicated session for anomaly detection using AI in finance, right? So this entire training that I'm talking about will be split into 2 parts, right? So during the course of the first part, we would be having the training, presentation, we'll be having the, and we will tell you about what the capstone project is. Now, capstone project, everybody understand the term capstone project, right? It's the final delivery that should come from your end before your course can be deemed as complete and you can be handed over the certificate, right? So it will be a summarization of whatever you have learned to be executed as a project or a product, and then we will have a demo of that, right? So you can say about 33% of that would be what we focus on, the capstone project development and its subsequent demo. The remaining 40, like 67% of that would be your teaching and presentations and assignments, right? How do we start off? We will start off at the very beginning from a foundational teaching of concepts with zero prior knowledge required, right? We will be only focusing on low code / no code platforms, foundational teaching concept with zero prior knowledge. We'll graduate one step up where we have practical industry implementation with real world use cases. The next step would be industrial capstone project with evaluation and feedback during the presentation by individual participants. Now, why am I always stressing on this fact that there has to be individual or it could be a group presentation as well, but the participants need to present their work, right? Because trust me, in the last 18 odd years, I've come across many cases where no matter how good a talent you were, it was always a losing battle at the table when you could not speak up or present your facts. You might be the smartest analyst among a group of analysts on the table, but unless you're able to confidently present your findings during a office meeting, or you would not be recognized. So no matter how good a work you do, somebody else will get the credit unless you're able to present that. So the confidence to present your stuff, right, with like confidently present your stuff would be a game changer. That's the reason in this training we are going to maybe give you some time so that you come and present your work, so that we can give you feedback that okay, maybe you did this, maybe you could have done it better, right? And that's how we all learn, right, by taking feedback. Now in the end, I think Sripal will throw more light on this. We will cap it up after your capstone project has been deemed successful. We will cap it up with a industry recognized certification, right? So this is going to be the coverage of concepts and definitely our USP as we spoke. Now let me take you through the most important slide of this presentation, which is the universe of tools and its coverage, right? You'd see that while in the duration of the course, you'd be seeing how you can use AI in Excel, how you can use it in Tableau, how you can use it in Power BI, right? And there will be a host of AI tools or slash LLMs that you'll be using. We'll start off with chat. We'll see how we can do prompt engineering in ChatGPT. We can use Gemini. We can use Copilot. My personal favorite, as I mentioned, is Anthropic Claude, right? And when I kind of take you through all of this, you'll gradually start to realize why do I always keep on saying that Anthropic Claude is my favorite, right? So then we'll have some elements of Python without the need of coding in Python, right? And I again tell you, you would be doing things in Python without the need of coding in Python, or without the prerequisite knowledge of Python. We'd use something called automated analysis in Looker Studio, which is again a visualization tool from Google. We'll use Google AI Studio, right? And that's very powerful. And maybe we'll cap it up with Perplexity. This is again a very popular LLM, right? So, and every LLM has got its strengths and weaknesses, and we will try to maximize on the strength of a particular LLM for a particular use case, right? Some LLM might be very good in giving you information. Some LLM might be very good in creating charts for you. So we'll see which LLM does what best. We will utilize it accordingly. But I think we are covering almost everything that is there for common people's usage, except maybe DeepSeek, because again, we are not very comfortable with DeepSeek being, let's say at this stage, it's a Chinese LLM. So we are kind of restricting it for some of the obvious reasons. So we'll not go into DeepSeek, but I think we have covered all the top of the art, top of the state LLMs, which are the 5 or 6 most popular LLMs in this world right now. Okay. Next. So the question at this stage is, I understood so many things. I understood the tools, what will be covered. But if I have to summarize whatever I've heard till now into 10 different points, right? And call them the 10 winning points, what are they going to be, right? I would start off on the very left when I say industry use case based practical hands-on exercise, right? Trust me, guys, it is very easy for me to just create a theoretical presentation using any of the LLM tools and run it through for 10 classes. What is not easy is to envision the practical component of it, create the data set, create the scenarios, and then practice it in the class, right? That's where the tough part is. So in our case, we will not be doing the former, we'll always be doing the latter, which is industry use case based practical hands-on exercises only. Next, I mean, industry leaders as faculty, that has already been covered. We will wrap up the course in about 2 to 2.5 months based on how long the capstone project goes. So it's not going to drag on for a very long time. We'll talk about automated AI. We'll talk about automation. Many people who are still who are there in the world of AI for a very long time also feel automation is an area which is very, very important, but most people are not very comfortable doing it, right? So we'll try to see how much we can deep dive into automated AI or AI automation, and then make ourselves very comfortable with that. Now, we're also going to enhance the work presentation skills for any analytics delivery, and that will come when you do the demo fair work. In addition to that, would be dealing with some of the most popular and relevant industry-based tools and technologies. I can bet that you go and do a research on which are the top 5 or 6 tools in LLMs, AI, Gen AI. All of that is covered in the previous slide, right? So, and that's why I'm saying widest possible coverage of topics. Now, this course is not a 1-year course where every single aspect of finance will be covered, but given whatever is the duration of course, we have made sure that that has the widest possible coverage of topics, as diverse as possible, right? The best thing about this course is you are going to use low code / no code enabled AI, right? Because I understand that if somebody comes from a non-computer science background, sorry, and me being one of the primary examples, I do not come from a computer science background myself. Coding is something that can be scary, right? So it's my job to make you feel comfortable by making sure we do the low code / no code approach, right? Where knowing coding beforehand is not absolutely necessary, right? So we all are very comfortable. We do not care about our coding knowledge, prior coding knowledge, because that is not necessary. And then in a way, when we complete the course, we have been initiated into the world of prompt engineering as well, right? So it's a double bonus training, if I could call it that way, right? Here, while we are going to explore the widest range of AI tools, including LLMs, we are going to just stick to the free tier of everything, which means we will not be requiring expensive subscriptions and licenses, which means all of us can make use of things, right? And in the end, you'd definitely be getting the certification, which Sripal will talk about, right? So that being said, I wanted to draw your attention into how we will structure this course, right? Now, we'll start off with theoretical concepts, right? It will be highly unrealistic to expect that day one, I will just give you a data set and we will start the things, right? That's not pretty realistic. What is realistic is I spend maybe 1 or 2 classes making you comfortable with the world of AI, right? Making you understand how you can start off with a tool, what's the right way to use it, right? All of this. So once you get comfortable, that is when we start off with the practical hands-on, right? During the practical hands-on, we just do not use a random. I mean, I don't know how many of you have undergone a data science training earlier. How many of you know your friends who have done it? Everyone starts off with a typical data set called iris, flower identification data set in the world of data science. We are not going to follow that route. We are going to use industry relevant examples and hands-on exercise case studies. Next, we are going to have regular feedback during the class. We can have quiz sessions, right? But in the end, we will also have assignments and they will be evaluated. When we cap it off with a capstone project, right, it will not just be a submission from your end. It will be evaluated, feedback would be given, and you'd also be making the presentations. That is how the whole training would be covered, which will lead to a certification upon successful completion of the capstone project presentation, right? So this is how we are going to structure the entire program. Now, a question, why should you join this program? I mean, I could have talked hours on this slide, right? But my purpose is not to sell this program. The purpose of me speaking on this slide is to make you aware that the program is perfectly fit for you if you fit in any of the 6 boxes. Some of you might fit in more than 1 boxes, but at least in one of the 6 boxes, if any of you fit in, then you should actually sign up for this program, right? First thing is, if you're a finance professional who wants to add AI as an additional skill set, this program is perfect for you, right? This program is perfect for you if you're someone who wants to use a lot of AI, but wants to avoid complex coding required for that, right? Now, if somebody told you that AI never required coding, he's wrong. Till the start of 2023, maybe end of 2022, start of 2023, or not even start, we're pretty late in 2023. Whenever these LLMs had not become very popular, generative AI was not a household name. AI was only about coding. With the advent of Gen AI LLMs, as we talk about end of 2022, early 2023, AI started its shift from a coding heavy to a prompt heavy exercise. Now, if I tell you that everything in AI can now be managed with prompts, again, that would be an incorrect statement, right? So I can say AI has come to a state where it does not really need to be 100% code driven, but it is also not 100% prompt driven. Because the systems are improving, maybe in future it will be 100% prompt driven, right? So we are somewhere in between of them. So somebody who wants to use a lot of AI but wants to avoid complex coding for this is going to be the perfect training for that. Now, if you're someone who believes that learning AI will help you a lot in your day-to-day corporate work, or even while interviewing for a new role, this program is going to be perfect for you, right? Because trust me, when you are going to interview for a new role, right, and there are two people who have come for a position, one of them has really good financial knowledge but also knows AI, versus another guy who has very equally good financial knowledge or maybe better but does not know AI. As a manager, I will always be tempted to select the first candidate who has augmented his skills with AI. That's a bias that you'd see in every job opening, right, these days. Now, if you are someone who knows that AI is a skill set that is not just good to have, but definitely must have in the evolving industry landscape, you should sign up for this training, right? You could be someone who is very keen to understand how an AI-enabled execution can improve your efficiency in your day-to-day work. Now, the first box and the fifth box is mostly applicable for working professionals, so people who are already working in their current role. Their current role could be very traditional in nature, right? And they are very keen to see how the use of AI can make it far more efficient, right? And I'll give you an example of what efficiency means. Let us say you come for an 8-hour work day. You come in the morning, you spend about 4 hours every day trying to structure your Excel sheets, couple of more hours in writing the formulas, and you are done at the end of the 6 hours, and you just have 2 hours to do the cognitive work or do the analysis, versus me, who does the exact same work but knows how to use AI. It takes me 15 to 20 minutes to structure, maybe 15 more minutes to write all the formulas, and I have about 7 to 7.5 hours in my hand to do the cognitive stuff, compared to you who just has 2 hours. So am I not 3.5x more productive than you? The answer is yes. And that is where the organizations are kind of moving into. And you would be hearing a lot that there have been so much restructuring in big organizations because AI is being used. Specifically, I'll say there's a lot of news recently that XYZ company has actually restructured, and a big chunk of its workforce is now laid off because 70% of the work has been automated using AI. Now, imagine who would be the people who were actually asked to leave. Would they be the people who are very traditional in their roles, or people who are really good in AI? Definitely people who are very traditional in their roles. So the world is going to move into an era where people who know how to use AI will survive, right? That's the reason we are always talking about we should learn AI sooner than later. Last but not the least, you could be someone who always wanted to use AI but wasn't sure how to start about it. This is going to be the course which will help you start your, let's say, the vehicle of AI, if I could call it that way, right? Okay. Now you would be thinking that I have actually spoken a lot about AI in finance, its usage. Would there be some credible statistics that will help me think that, okay, whatever I have spoken till now has a credibility in terms of numbers, right? If you go to the Naukri data analyst job link, you'd see that financial analysts, like, and I'm only talking about AI-enabled career opportunities, right, are getting an average salary of 7 to 10 lakhs per year in India, right? Because they can leverage data science technique to analyze financial data, identify trends and anomalies, etc. So financial data analyst is going to be a role that is open for all of you. Forensic accountant with AI expertise is another role. AI-powered internal auditor. Now, why AI-powered internal auditor is specifically very close to me, because in a couple of the biggest investment banks that I worked in, I was helping their internal audit division with my AI skill sets. So we were creating the first of its kind AI-powered internal audit divisions for those banks. And I'm talking about more than 12 to 13 years ago, right? Not many people had heard about AI as a household name back then. So not most of its peer banks had not even started using AI. And we were trying to create an entire division, which is AI powered internal audit. Back then, I'm talking about 12, 13 years ago, right? So this is something that anybody who is willing to build a career in audit needs to be an AI powered auditor going forward. Cannot be a traditional auditor who does this sampling approach, right? All of you are familiar with the sampling approach. There are 1 lakh rows. I will take a 20% sample. I will look at that. I'll give my observation. What if there was a $1 billion fraud in one line item that I did not pick? So that is the very reason why I mean, 12, 13 years ago, we've made these big organizations do away with the sampling based audit methodology and went for a whole scale AI based audit approach, right? Where every line item is scrutinized, right? Now, as I said, FP&A with data science skills is a very strong combination in the market, right? Regulatory reporting and analyst, right? And why in regulatory reporting or compliance, this is becoming very, very important is when I talk about a decade ago, or let's say even 5 years ago, when AI was not that prevalent, we had compliances slash audits, which was very periodic in nature, which says this particular division I'll audit once every 4 months. Maybe this thing I'll audit once every year. Now, what was happening is due to an absence of continuous auditing and compliance, there was a chance that some fraud might happen before when you end your audit versus when you start your next one, right? That blind spot, as I can call it. Now, with continuous auditing and continuous regulatory compliance, we using AI, because you cannot have a human being doing it day in and day out. Using AI, we made sure that it is almost D minus one or almost real time, right? And it's continuous. So most big organizations, specifically the financial ones, are moving towards that. And it will be in your interest to become one of those, right? I can give you a couple of examples, right? EY India uses AI for automated document processing and financial statement analysis. Now, if I were to join EY tomorrow, maybe in this particular department which does that, and I have absolutely no idea what AI is or what is automated document processing, right? How your financial statements can be analyzed using AI, I would appear like a fool among all the people who do, right? Next, Deloitte India leverages AI for continuous auditing and risk assessment service. The exact point I was talking about 2 minutes ago, right? And if I have zero idea of how continuous audit happens using AI, I'll again start seeming like a misfit amongst everyone. KPMG India offers AI-powered solution for fraud detection and regulatory compliance. Again, fraud detection slash anomaly detection. If I have zero knowledge of how AI can be used to do anomaly detection, I would appear as a fool in my first team meeting if I was supposed to be joining KPMG tomorrow, right? And these are not the exclusive ones. These are not the entire set of examples. Here's just three different examples among a sea of examples where in your financial role without AI, you'd be seemingly outdated, right? Okay. Let me summarize what would be the benefits if you go in for an AI powered finance course. So once you know AI, or once you cannot master AI, you can know how to use it to your best possible efforts. You will have enhanced job securities, right? A finance professional without any AI knowledge would be the first one to be let go than a finance professional with AI knowledge. Because now I can actually get the work of two people done through that finance professional who has AI knowledge. Second, higher earning potential. Yes. As you, I mean, if you would have noticed the market trends post-COVID, right? During COVID, many people actually maybe were staying at home, had the opportunity or the time to go in for data science courses. AI/ML courses, right? And post-COVID, you'd see that, okay, because there was a market demand, all of these professionals had a 3x, 4x jump in their remunerations, right? Because with AI, your earning potential also increases, right? Not only that, I have already spoken about how you can, with an example of how you can be up to 3.5x more productive, right, for the same time that you spend, right? So increased efficiency and productivity is an example, right? Improved risk management. Now, all of us are aware of risk, right? It could be credit risk, market risk, liquidity risk, etc. So these financial analysts do build risk models, right? Now, what is the biggest problem that these risk models that was being built by our financial analysts? What was the biggest problem? The biggest problem was the time in which certain things happen versus the time after which I received the entire data versus the time I took to build the risk model versus the time it was finally ready to be used. Lot of water had flown under the bridge. So your current model was kind of outdated because it took a lot of time to be ready from the time it should have been versus the time it actually took to get it ready. So when it comes to risk management, again, we were doing it a lot. We were building a lot of VAR models and all when we were working with those big financial institutions. Needs to be very timely. And that is only possible when I use AI to get the data fast, to build risk models faster, right? Okay. Now, as per a NASSCOM report, it says by the year 2025, AI, India's AI workforce is going to reach about 40 to 50 lakhs. So India is going to be the biggest AI trained workforce in the world by the end of 2025, right? And if you're not one of those, then you are definitely left out. Okay. So the last example that I would want to give is a study by Bloomberg, right, states that 80% of the Indian CEOs believe AI will have a significant impact on their business, including financial accounting functions. So after whatever I have spoken for the last 45 odd minutes and quoted some really credible sources, if there is still someone who feels that your financial accounting functions will not be impacted by AI, or for that matter, any financial function will not be impacted by AI, then I think it will be very difficult to convince him or her. Now, I would be keen to take questions, and I can actually give you certain examples later on as in how we used AI, what we are
So,
going to
Sabitra,
cover. Yeah,
sorry to kind of interrupt. So, can
yeah.
you just show the schedule like with topics is what someone is asking? The
Mm,
duration of the course and the topics, what all,
yes, yes. So let me,
and number of hours, what they're mentioning.
yes. Let me pull up that slide. Okay, I'm sharing my screen back. Okay, so it might seem smaller, but that's because it's one big slide. Okay, let me know once you can see my screen. Okay, so the course is going to be like 20 classes, each 2 hours duration, right? That's going to be the teaching part, that where you have 20 classes with 2 hours per class, so 40 hours. And then you'll have the capstone project, which should go for about 20 hours or so, capstone project and its presentation. So you can accordingly think about the duration. Now, when it comes to topics and coverage, we'll have introduction of AI to finance, then we'll analyze data using AI and application of financial use cases using AI tools. We will delve into classical AI and generative AI for finance, including LLMs and prompt engineering with practical use cases and case study implementations. We'll go into something called vibe coding, right? If you just see which are the most trending keywords for AI in the last 6 odd months, vibe coding will come up at top, right? So everybody should know what is vibe coding, right? And it's a new revolution into code generation using AI with practical case studies, right? We'll do vibe coding. We will do AI in financial reporting and accounting and all of this, we will have a practical case study as well. AI in financial reporting and accounting, taxation, compliance, auditing, risk, and so on. So these will keep on following. AI with financial planning and forecasting. So we will have that. Then we will have AI powered decision support, and we will end it with a caption project where maybe you'll be given 10 to 15 days to build that project. Then we'll come back again, and depending on the number of presenters, we might have 2 or 3 sessions allocated to them. So this is how this course is going to be structured. And if you look at the right side of that, which will give you an extreme detail of what is going to be covered in all of this, right? So it's too much to read through, but yeah, once you sign up for that, you will get to see how forecasting cash flows. I'm just giving an example, right? So you could be forecasting cash flows. You could be doing scenario analysis using AI. You could be doing budget versus actual analysis, variance analysis, right? And so on. So you could be talking about transfer pricing, you could be talking about compliance audit trails, and so on, right? Continuous audits, and so on. So this is basically how we would be shaped up for the entire program. So 40 hours of teaching and the remaining for caption project and its presentation. So did I answer the question?
Yes, I think that's it. So, guys who all have questions, if you can raise hands so that Sabitra or me can answer that as well. Jay Krishna, I have a question. Yogesh, can you unmute Jay?
Okay, so I think Sripal also mentioned upon a topic, how can we use AI for making sure our resumes are built or are ATS compliant, right? So I think, guys, what generally happens, and I've seen that happening to many people who are just about freshers, is they build a very flashy resume, right? Sometimes with the intent of making it look very flashy, they miss out on how the proper structure of the resume should be, what should be the key points, and so on. And more often than not, right, it is not ATS compliant, right? So what happens is nowadays many organizations are using AI for screening your resumes. If it is not ATS compliant, there's a huge chance that it might get rejected upfront rather than you getting a call. That generally happens. So maybe we can also spend some time on making sure how the perfect resume should be for you when you're going to apply for a role in finance, which has components of AI in it. So we can maybe take a session on that specifically as well for all of you. Yes, Shipal, over to you.
Yeah, Jay, can you please go ahead? Yogesh, we are not able to hear Jay. Others, if you have any questions, please raise your hands. I think this is the time. So this time data analytics plus AI, because DA already we have, right? So some of them are asking, is it data analytics plus AI? Because data analytics videos are already there. So we aren't doing, because it's, see, the world is moving towards AI more, right? And we want to kind of ensure that now data analytics and all those stuff, everything is now being done by Copilot itself. So that's why we have renamed the course now completely, and we have removed the data analytics in detail content now, and we have just stick to AI, because that is what the recruiters want. So what we do basically is to ask corporates, ki, bhai, what are the skill sets, what are you looking today, and then accordingly we design the course. And now everyone is talking about AI. AI is a buzzword. Even in the resumes you put that you have done a AI certification, you announce on LinkedIn, it's a big advantage, right? I mean, just imagine someone who's just a CPA, CMA, CIA, and someone who's CPA, CMA, CIA with AI, or just someone who's pursuing CPA, CMA with AI. I mean, the negotiation skills improve, right? So you can convince them properly because you're already doing something which is what all corporates are investing their money in. So AI is a revolution. To be honest, the way it is being done today, I mean, you will see a lot of things happening here, especially with respect to ChatGPT coming up. But not the ChatGPT, we have the planning and analytics tool also, which are coming up now. Everyone is having an AI, inbuilt AI and copilot tools and all. So the prompting will become very, very essential, and that is what is the skill set they look for. So I mean, if AI will finish everything, no is the answer. But if we are not updating ourselves on the AI tools, not knowing how we can use AI tools and ensure our work is getting automated, I mean, that people to definitely will not be there in coming years. And that's why we at Samandhar want to ensure that you guys are equipped tomorrow. Then the recruiters do not think, yaar, iska value kuch nahi hai. Matlab, why are we even hiring this person? He's not adding any value to us when the AI itself is doing this. So it's important that you understand that how you automate a lot of the things today. And what eventually will happen is everyone will become a revenue generator tomorrow. No longer support functions will be there, and support will become more automated now. The only thing which will not automate is the sales, right? The way you talk, the way you communicate, and the way you network. So that is something will not go, but need to ensure that you learn these latest tools and apply these tools. That is what is very, very important, folks. Okay.
Great. And to add on to
ICI
Sripal's
AI
point,
course, just a second, Sabitra. One question have come with respect to ICI AI course. I'm not sure. ICI AI course is first of all only for chartered accountants, Kiran, and I myself have is one of the faculties at in that residential program of AI, where I have taught them a lot of the case laws taking from ChatGPT, how to write a LinkedIn post, how to mention the skills, what are the resumes, how should they build, because I felt that is more practical, that is more relevant, how they can use AI to do more content development and write and become a good personal brand, right? Because these days that is also a very important skill, Kiran. So that I also have taken in ICAI course, but they are not talking much relevancy because the faculties themselves are not, I mean, have done any AI certifications. So if you see that, at least we have worked on the AI project, I've done a digital Sripal, so I have a lot of things. And in fact, my elder brother works at Microsoft in Seattle office, so he is with the Chat GPT project. So we are aware about the latest developments in AI. So makes sense, at least from my side, to do some roadshows or something like that on AI. But other faculties have seen that, and not so impressive, I would say. And the participants also said that my session was good, but I don't want to boast about that. But just I'm letting you know that the quality is not what you expect, Kiran. So that is what it is. But here, Sabitra is next level. We are very, very selective on the way we take our leaders and all. And Sabitra have been working day and out on AI itself. So it makes more sense to have someone who's doing every day on that particular thing. So it's more about how we see that, right? So he's specialized in that. So any complex situations also, I mean, there were some of them who are working, who are entrepreneurs and are developing certain AI projects. So definitely we can work together also. Sabitra can implement some complex things in your companies as well. So we are also pitching to a lot of clients implementing AI, especially in Middle East. We are working a lot and developing AI projects, automating a lot of the things in their company and all. So people who are entrepreneurs here, who are not, I mean, who are pursuing course, but they are also in practice and all, let us know. We can network also. We can collaborate and develop a lot of these AI automation projects also in your clients' places. So definitely Sabitra does that. You can always contact me or Sabitra, and we can work jointly if you get any client request also for automations and all, because we are doing already all those projects in the US as well as in the Middle East. So one question have come, how AI is used in Simandhar. We have a digital Sripal Shivagna. So if you see the question, the answers in Telegram which are being given in seconds, right? They're all being done by digital Sripal only. So I have trained that bot since last 1 year. And we did a huge announcement as well when it passed the CPA exam with 95% accuracy. So see, AI will not be 100% accurate, right? So there will be a lot of answers which might not be right, but it has passed above 95%. So if you put any questions, it can answer. It's a WhatsApp bot which we developed at Samandhar. So that can answer any questions of students today, whatever they ask, any even a simulation or an essay or an MCQ in CMA or CPA or SSC or CFA, everything it can answer. So now we are coming with a video related stuff where my shadow comes and explains them in the WhatsApp bot. So a lot of them have subscribed to our digital Sripal bot also. It's a yearly bot where they access and all. And see, just imagine, Shivagna, 1 month before you're studying and late night, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, which faculty will be available, right? And you have an urgent question to ask, right? You put it in chat GPT, it's very generalized, right? It can answer and you don't even know whether it's a right answer or wrong answer. But with digital Sripal, because it's a trained bot, it's a customized bot, you can ask any question in the late night also, it can answer, right? So that is where the differentiation happens. 1 month, 2 months before the exam, you need some urgent help in the late night, you don't have a teacher there, so this bot helps you out. So that way we have revolutionized the entire stuff there. And to be honest, Becker also have come with their own AI. But if you see, it's not a WhatsApp AI, it's not a trained AI and all, right? Digital Sripal is very trained in the way, and it can develop a lot of MCQs and simulation. You tell him draft 10 MCQs for me, it can do that. Draft 10 simulations for me, it can do that. So digital Sripal is like that's why it's going very popular in the corporates also. So big fours have subscribed to that bot. So that way I have ensured that we are ahead in the AI game. So we know end to end what is happening in this particular things, right, area. And that's where I think this is the reason why I thought, why shouldn't we bring a course itself, right? And if you see, some of them are like 1 lakh 20 hai kya, 1 lakh 30,000 rupees and all. It's not at all like that. It's a rumor, whatever someone has spoken. And I think Sabitra also will tell, it's just like 45,000 rupees. It's to ensure that because there's a live class, live projects are being there, and the certification is there. So it's very, very important that we ensure that it is feasible and all. If you see, our data analytics course also was priced at a similar thing only, 35 to 40, but this time we have charged AI a special thing because there are boards, there is a lot of practical insights which needs to go in, and some of them might come with some complex case laws also, so we need to solve that also. So it's a 1 year LMS which will be given. All the videos also will be recorded and all, and it will be hosted, so in case if anyone misses the live class, can attend the recorded. But just ensure that you will not get any certificate till you don't do the case laws and the assignments what Sabitra have assigned. So no certification will be given to the people who are not doing that. So it will just be that you're attending the course and not getting any certificate. And if you don't have the certificate, to be honest, you will not have any value in the market also. You cannot show to big fours also that you're doing some course like this and all. So certification is very important. Ensure that whatever the homeworks and the assignments are being given, please submit it. Without that, we can't do it. We are also talking to NASBA to make this CPE compliant. So if some of them are CPA passed out, so this course can give them CPE also. So continuing professional education credits also, and that can add. So we are talking to NASBA as well, and mostly we should get the approval in a month or so on this particular program. And we are just adding more programs. You'll see along with Sabitra, me and Kapil also will participate in this course. Kapil himself is a AI innovator at Microsoft, so he'll also be there. Happens to be my elder brother, so he'll be there in the sessions to let you guys know what all MS is doing in this area and adding new things. So definitely this can be a value adders, guys. Don't miss this, is what I would say. Okay. And yeah, Jay is raised the hand. Jay, go ahead. Jay, you're on. We have unmuted you. Please go ahead, Jay. Yogesh, we are not able to hear Jay Krishna. Okay, he's having some technical issue. You can just type Jay and Sabitra can read that.
Okay, there was
And
a
accessing digital.
question.
Yeah.
Shiva, I think there was a question regarding when is the start date of the course. So I think the current planned start date is next Sunday, which is your, I think, 15th of June.
June.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, Sabitra, it's over to you.
But I think I see a question which says, uh, how can it, what was the question? How I want to know how this will work in logistic and manufacturing field. Okay, so Jai Krishna, I mean, AI is not limited to any field, it's field agnostic. And field is not the right word, we can call it domain agnostic. A domain could be BFSI, banking, finance, insurance, it could be healthcare, it could be manufacturing, logistics, and all. I'll give you an example of manufacturing, right? So many years back, and this is something very interesting, and all of you should feel how AI is making a difference in manufacturing, right? So many years back, if assuming you ran a factory of your own, and one fine day you get a news saying that one part has conked off and the machines have shut down, you rush on a Sunday morning, you rush to the factory, you take 2 hours to find out which part is that, you then reorder that part. The supplier says it will take you 7 days for the part to come, and then the part finally comes to you on the seventh day. You fit it in 2 hours and the machines start running again. So all in all, it was a 7 day productivity loss for your factory because you could not know beforehand that this part will malfunction. That was before AI came into manufacturing. When AI came into manufacturing, we started having something called predictive maintenance. And it's not only restricted to factories, it is there in most modern day cars as well, right? So it says that maybe there is a 30% chance that your engine oil might get stuck. It's a 40% chance your tires might wear out, right? So likely what happens is that there's a revolution in manufacturing called Internet of Things, IoT, right? In a simple word, IoT can be thought of as a machine which emits signals. It is captured by another machine, it is analyzed. So your factory parts keep on emitting signals. I capture it over a period of time. I analyze the behavior of that. And with that, I come up with three things at the beginning. There's a 50% chance my part X might malfunction in the next 7 days. There's a 75% chance it might malfunction within the next 15 days. There's a 85% chance it might malfunction in the next 30 days. So I have got thresholds. Now, what I think that there is a huge chance something wrong might happen in 15 days. Let me pre-order that part. So I will pre-order that part, have it with me, and let's say by luck on the 22nd day something malfunction. It only takes me a couple of hours to get it right rather than 7 days. This is an example of predictive maintenance, which is there in most modern age cars these days. So, and again, I'll repeat it. This was just an example because you asked from manufacturing, right? Uh, Having worked across a diverse domain, starting from healthcare, insurance, manufacturing, banking, and finance, I can say that there is not a single domain that is immune to AI. You will find use of AI everywhere.
And guys, the PPT, Sabitra, if you can share to the team so they can actually email all the attendees and even the class schedule and timings. And mostly the timing will be in the morning only, Sabitra, if I'm not wrong.
I will talk to the team because they mentioned that they morning people might have additional classes, so I'm not sure which.
Yeah,
I
we are
would
just
also
trying to, yes, but it will be preferably in that time, Sabitra. But I'll just share them the schedule and the prospectors. Tell the team to share the schedule, prospectors, and the PPT. What you have shared, Sabitra, if you can just send it to the team, they will share all the three to them, and so that they can take an informed decision. I think everyone want that, and even the recording also, folks. Will see to it that if this recording also is emailed to all. Yogesh, please ensure that this is done post the session, the PPT and the course prospectus. Even it's there in the website as well, folks. I've shared the website link in under Skillfluence. It is there, so you can always kind of go into the website and also contact the counselors there. So there you will get it. I'm just sharing the link again. Okay. Okay. One question have come on chartered accountancy profession, Sabitra, that will this be practicing chartered accountants? Will there be an impact due to AI? How would AI impact the practicing CAs or tax professionals while dealing or communicating with clients? So Rajendra, the way I think before Sabitra answers and what we are seeing at is they are developing a literature like I did for digital Sripal for a lot of courses. In the same way, Big Fours are developing literature based on that. So today, if any of the implementation of US GAAP is there or IFRS is there, any accounting standard codifications are there, all those are being put into AI library now. So people previously used to look for, ask the partners, how should I recognize, how should I classify in P&L, balance sheet. So all those things will go off. Your work papers, your documentations, everything is getting in the AI tool itself. So big fours are developing their own bot, and that is the reason why it was telling that why it is very important for them to hire people with AI skills. Is they themselves are developing the bot. They themselves are investing in AI and all. So that is the reason they want people to know how to do the prompting and all. So that's what you will see. Now, big fours are using that. Practicing chartered accountant, like always, are little backside, so they'll need to update themselves and all. And should they take that bot or not, 100%, because with the way it is happening, so they are actually tying up with third parties. Like Sapitra has his own AI company. So what practicing CS do is, Sapitra, can you develop an AI bot for us and all? So that way they are using. They will not develop the bot and all because they have no knowledge, folks. So what they do is they go to Sapitra company. Like I said, we are doing AI projects for a lot of chartered accountants and all. So they will tell Sapitra the requirement, this is what I want, and that's how they'll develop the bot and they'll try to automate. So now the roles, how it is coming is, right, CAO, like Chief AI Officer or Chief Automation Officers are coming up, the designations now at every company. So what these guys are doing is they're developing, they're doing automations in each and every area. And that's where the jobs are getting lost. And they're only letting the people who will know the AI, who knows how to prompt and all, who knows how to use the tools and automate a lot of the stuff. So these can be business analysts, this can be analysts like Sabitra, so this can be analysts like chartered accountant, CPAs, but having AI knowledge, so that they can communicate and let us know exactly what is required, right? So that is what it is. Shivansh, yes, and that's why for all the people who are enrolling for this month, the pricing is 45K only. So you can always get in touch with the counselors. The website price is 50K, but we are coming up with 45K offer because the batch is nearing now. So next week only the batch start date is there. Post that, once the batch starts, the pricing will not be the 45K at all. Okay. But definitely you can mention that, sir, I've mentioned in the webinar. Okay. And yeah, I think slides is what they are asking, Sabitra. That would be great because a lot of the questions are on that only, that how will this, they are looking forward for the slides.
Yeah, I'll email the slide to the team after the call.
Yeah.
So
Anything
is it
else,
like,
Sabitra, would you want to
so
add with
Sripal,
respect to the
is it
case
the
loss?
presentation slide that we did, or the program and the details slide? What exactly they are looking at?
This PPT only you can send, Sabitra, what
Okay.
all you have presented today, right? So we
Mhm.
can send that to the participants. Already in the website also it's there, but it's better they know, right? How is the course adding value and all, right?
Sure.
It's important that they understand and all. And guys, clearly letting you know, putting in the resume also AI, and even talking about this itself will give a huge impression to recruiters that you know something about the technology. That much how the demand is, right? So here too we are going very detailed and in depth, right? We are also covering what all are the latest things, and now everyone's eyes is on this, right? And most of them, this is more like internet only, no, everyone is using this. So that is what it is. So yes, the training class will be only on weekends, Raja. Yes, Shivanya. So that is what Sabitra will take up in his classes and all. So how they can put about AI in a resume and all, Sabitra, how they
Yeah.
can put that in the resume also.
Yeah.
And that is what it will. It's online, Harish. Zoom. And this will be completely related to finance and all, guys. So if you're expecting like logistics and all, because we are all finance and accounting professionals, so I've said Sabitra to ensure that all the AI tools and whatever is happening, they are all related to accounting and finance only. Matlab, it doesn't make sense to me if it doesn't impact my area. I hope everyone is with me on this, right? So it's very important that whatever we are doing in AI should have some relation to finance, accounting, or FP&A. That's how you will talk in the interview. So if it is not related to finance, accounting, they'll tell why did you do the course, right? So though there are some technology jargons, but it will be completely related to finance and accounting, so that we position ourselves in the interviews properly. So duration of the course, I think Sabitra has already said that it's 3 months, Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah, 2.5 to 3 months, depending on how long people take for their capstone project. So ideally, it will be almost somewhere between 2 to 3 months, depending on whether people take a long time for their capstone project, but it should be all wrapped up within 3 months. And one more thing is, like as Sripal mentioned, all the use cases, data sets, everything will be related to finance. So you'd be, for example, you'd be using Copilot. Now, Copilot is not a domain specific tool, it's a generic tool. But when my use case for Copilot would be exactly finance specific. It cannot be logistic, manufacturing, healthcare. So that is one thing that we will have. It will be very finance specific use cases.
Yeah, it is on weekends only. I've already clarified that. Thank you. Okay. I think that's all we have. Sabitra, thank you so much for coming in. And participants, looking forward to seeing you guys on the next week day classes, which we are starting on June 15th. It's live classes. Don't miss any of the live classes. And that's what I was telling. If you see in other parts of India and all the training institute, they're all giving recordings and all. So please note that here we are doing live classes along with recording. So you need to respect time of Sabitra. Please ensure that you are on time. Do not come late and be on time for the classes in case if you are joining it. So ensure that the discipline is maintained. Be consistent in your classes so that you take this, you utilize this properly. Because tomorrow, if someone asks you anything about AI, you should be in a position to talk after these sessions. You should be in the position to let them know that this is what you're doing in AI. You should apply that. So that is more, the focus is more on application, and conversation is more on how you apply this practically than just talking theoretically. So that's why these tools, the latest tools, what are there, right? That will also be. And Sabitra, one question was there: should they even spend on the tools? I'm hoping that all these are free tools only, where they will be kind of doing their R&D, right, on AI.
Yes, yes. I think that was covered in the 10 winning points when I said that they do not need to subscribe, have any subscription for expensive tools. So every tool has got two parts, right? One is the free tier. Even if you go to ChatGPT, they have a free tier, which most of you use. Then there is a paid subscribed version, which gives you every functionality and it is unlimited. The free thing is limited to maybe maximum 10 or 15 queries in a day or something like that. So because we want this to want that everybody should have access and nobody needs to pay for that expensive subscription, we will only use the free tier of each tool that we're going to do a demo for. So nobody needs
I hope
to
that
take any
clarifies, because
subscription.
people thought that they'll need to invest again, Sabitra, in the paid tools also to just
No,
to
no,
learn this, right?
that's exactly what we covered in the 10 winning points. So no need to worry about spending anything extra apart from whatever you pay to Simandhar for the course fees. That's all.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you, Sabitra. On the timings and all, guys, like we discussed, there are some clashes of CPA, CMA, EA, CIA batches which are going on in the morning. So we'll announce, but the date is confirmed. Everything is confirmed. The timings, most probably by tomorrow, you should be able to get to know that. But typically, always we do all these sessions in the morning only, on weekends and all, because we know in evening you will go out. So that is a problem with a lot of the generation people. So we are ensuring that these classes will be in the morning only. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Yogesh, and thank you, everyone who are watching us from YouTube. It was great to have you here, and we'll stay connected, folks. Anyways, I'm to there in Telegram, so you don't need to worry. Others who all have not joined Samandhar, please do look at this course and keep and definitely see the prospectus, what all are being covered, and all. This PPT will be emailed as well to you. So go through this, post this session also. Thank you, Sabatra. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.